Let's talk about the legalities of this. In the state of Texas, if you are going to claim self-defense after you have used not harmful, but deadly force against a person that was allegedly attacking you, you have to prove that that person was using unlawful and violent energy, unlawful and violent behavior. If you fail to prove that, you may end up in hot water legally, which moves us on to point number 2. Even if you can prove your case, let's say that you can claim self-defense. You hurt somebody and you use deadly force against a person, even if they don't die, but you use deadly force, i.e. you pull out a gun and you shoot at somebody, even if they survive, you have used deadly force because that gun has the force to kill another person. You still have to go to court and defend yourself. You know how much it costs to retain a lawyer for a homicide case or a murder one case? You know how much it is? At least $100,000. Ask a lawyer. At least $100,000 on the table in cash for you to even get a lawyer to represent you, let alone do you even know if you're going to get off. You still may end up going to jail for life, even when you paid a lawyer $100,000. So that leads me to point number 3. Your job in life is to prevent a worse outcome with the decisions that you make right now. In short, if you claim self-defense in a legal case, you must be able to prove to a jury beyond a reasonable doubt that whatever you did, i.e. stabbing the person who was coming at you, prevented a worse thing from happening to you. So if you were to come at me crazy and I pull out a gun and shoot you and you die, I have to prove to the court that what I did, shooting you, prevented something worse than that happening to me. In other words, if you weren't about to kill me, I can't justify killing you. And in many court cases, this is the way it ends up going. These are the cases that you don't hear about, not the ones that you heard about on the internet. The ones you don't hear about where someone actually goes to jail is because they failed to prove this, because they over responded to what someone else was doing to them. Do I think this is quote unquote fair? Not really. But is the justice system fair? No, it ain't. Justice system is about what you can prove, not what's actually true. It's about how good of a lawyer you can hire and how well they can argue the case and how well the prosecution argues against you. I would suggest instead of playing dice with your life and gambling with your life by ending up in the court in the first place and paying a lawyer, you instead be smart rather than be tough, especially you men out there, because if you end up over responding to what someone else does, even if you can justify it and your social media followers can justify it, the courts will not justify it, and you don't want to be there. Work on your game.